What has brought us from virality to vulnerability in the digital age? What is the moral dilemma of the present digital society at our hand? And how the KBC kid controversy has just shown death of empathy in our society. One minute a child behaved differently, and the next moment our feeds were filled up with judgment, trolls, memes against him, forgetting that it is only a 10-year-old child, showing us how fragile our moral compass has become in the age of digital society. Hello everyone, welcome to Vajram and Ravi's Flash News. My name is Shubhangi Singh, and today we are going to talk about that how our digital society lacks kindness, lacks empathy, where we are preaching it all the time offline. What is it? Is it algorithm or the anonymity that is fueling it? We are going to understand consent, especially in regards to the child, what are the frameworks around it, and every layer associated with it. So let us start with the incident that has taken place. This all started with a child, 10-year child, behaving a little differently than as expected by the society, and there have been not just trolls but allegations, parenting advices, criticism for the parenting and what not, where we are absolutely forgetting that हम एक यहाँ पे 10 साल के बच्चे की बात कर रहे हैं, उसके अगेंस्ट हम जो भी बोलेंगे वो उसके लिए कितना ट्रॉमेटिक हो सकता है, उस पर क्या इम्पैक्ट छोड़ सकता है, इसके बारे में भूलते हुए. And this clearly indicates that this is not just one social media incident. This is only showing that what our society has become. It has become a performative society. यहाँ पे appearance की society है, जैसा जो दिखेगा उसके basis पे यहाँ पर kindness नहीं, excessive outrage देखने को मिलेगी हर वक्त. So basically a few seconds on TV were magnified and a 10-year-old kid was blasted and was given the moral commentary for his whole life. This case clearly reveals the dangers of digital mob mentality and how social media transforms individuals into spectacles overnight with or without their consent. So let us try to break this down with understanding that what exactly our digital society looks like. As I said, our digital society as of now is nothing but a performative society. That means whatever you are doing in your life, वो आप post करेंगे और वो judgment के लिए available है to anyone and everyone. So whatever is being posted, whatever is being put up, that is available for judgment and it is out in the public eye. पहले ऐसा नहीं था. पहले क्या होता था कि certain individuals, certain actors, certain stars, sports person, they were only there for the scrutiny and that was their choice by profession. But now everybody is looked by the lens of public eye. And what happens here? What further fuels it? It is the algorithm. Algorithm हर वक्त ऐसी चीजें ढूंढ रहा होता है जो किसी ना किसी तरह का इमोशन जो है प्रिवोक करे. अगर आपको किसी चीज को देख के गुस्सा आ रहा है, if you are feeling angry about something, if you are feeling emotional about something, if you are feeling disgusted by something, that is what makes the algorithm run. It will try to show you more of that and that is what will create the virality. चीजें वायरल ही तब होंगी जब लोग उससे कनेक्ट कर पाएंगे और इसी वजह से आप देखेंगे किसी भी तरीके का आउटरेज जो है वो हमेशा ज़्यादा तेज़ी से फैलेगा as compared to any facts. Let's compare, let's take an example. A person who is dictating certain facts कि इंडिया में ये हुआ, ये हुआ, ये हुआ, आप उसको सुनने में इंटरेस्टेड नहीं होंगे. वहीं पे उसने दो रिलीजन्स को कंपेयर करना शुरू कर दिया, everybody would be inclined to hear that. And furthermore, this whole concept of virality has become more complex and threatening also because यहाँ पे digital spaces की वजह से किसी तरह की बाउंड्री या लाइन नहीं रह गई है प्राइवेट मोरालिटी में एंड पब्लिक मोरालिटी में. शायद वो चीज़ें जो उस बच्चे को कमेंट्स में बोली गई, उनके पेरेंट्स को बोली गई, वो कभी भी सामने अगर बैठे होते ये नहीं बोली जाती. तो यहाँ पे प्राइवेट मोरालिटी अलग हो गई है और पब्लिक मोरालिटी जो है डिफरेंट हो गई है. दैट मीन्स whatever you choose, whatever you face you have in front of your friends, in front of your family is very different, but what kind of comments you will be leaving, what you will be expressing publicly, that will vary a lot. This also reflects Bauman's concepts of liquid modernity. Basically यहाँ पे बताया जा रहा है कि कैसे judgments जो है और identities जो है ये दोनों ही बहुत ही fluid है और transient है, ये move कर सकते हैं, change हो सकते हैं. But यहाँ पे question ये है कि ये हमें worst case scenario में देखने को क्यों मिल रहा है. So now moving ahead, after one understanding that what our digital society looks like, now that we have understood this, let us verify this with data. The data shows that 74% of Indian users, they have reported that they have seen online trolling or some sort of harassment. That means if 100 people are there online, 74 people, they have seen some sort of trolling or harassment. If you look at India's rank, we are third globally if you are talking about cyberbullying for minors. So this is where we have to understand कि जहाँ algorithm और सोशल मीडिया प्रेजेंस जो है एक बूमिंग स्टेज पे है, वहाँ पे हम कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ क्या कर रहे हैं, क्या हम अपनी मोरालिटी, क्या हम अपना मॉरल कंपस, एथिक्स कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ कर रहे हैं इस डिजिटल एज में. अ लॉट ऑफ यू विल बी क्वेश्चन कि हाउ डू वी ड्रॉ द लाइन, वेयर इज द लाइन दैट वी अंडरस्टैंड. Obviously, there is a difference between trolling and accountability. This clearly shows that there is a vacuum, ethical vacuum that is present, and that calls for proper compartmentalization and awareness in terms of what one's action can lead to. So when we are talking about trolling and accountability both, there's a clear difference. When you are trolling, you are attacking someone. If you are asking for accountability, it is around constructive criticism which is based on facts. So in this scenario, अगर हम बात कर रहे हैं तो यहाँ पे अगर कुछ लोग बोल रहे हैं कि parenting का issue है, so that can be an accountability. But when you are commenting on the kid itself, you are talking about how he's smiling, how he's talking, then you are targeting certain emotion. When you are asking for accountability, you are encouraging dialogue, you are encouraging debate, which is fine. Because in this scenario also, it has been one of the news has highlighted that the kid is suffering or he is suspected to be six pocket syndrome. So this is where awareness part is coming in. People are talking about it. But directly personally attacking the kid, making memes about it, ridiculing him is showing a different low in our society. Can you tell me in the comment section, what does this syndrome indicate? What does this syndrome indicate? Now many of you might highlight that this is about expression. Yes, our democracy promotes freedom of expression, but freedom of expression also comes with certain restrictions. Can you tell me in the comment section which article gives us the freedom of expression? So if we are talking about accountability and it goes into trolling and it is not regulated, it will erode public discourse and it will also erode empathy, which is a very important factor in the very society itself. Now when we have understood all this, let us move and understand consent as a concept in the age of virality. So when we are talking about consent, that means there has been an agreement, there has been a yes from the concerned person to be filmed or to be made viral, to be used in a reel. But when we are talking about a 10-year-old person who doesn't even know the distinction here, how do we understand what his consent is? And without his consent, we are putting him, we are exposing him to comments, and that to hate comments. As of now, our entertainment media industry is using minors which do not have the full understanding or the exposure that they are in front of, and this leads to permanent digital footprints. Because once anything is online, be it a video, be it an image, data, it will stay there permanently. And this raises the important ethical question that what about informed consent? Was that child aware that he is being recorded, he will be coming on TV, but when TV, if he behaves a certain different way, then he will become a meme as well. So here we are compromising on consent, privacy, also child autonomy. Now let us move to understand if there are actually any safeguards which are available in our country to protect children from this issue or the confusion, or especially the cyberbullying that we are seeing, or the cyber crimes we are seeing in the digital age of this present time. Now let us understand this, verify this with the data itself. Over 58% of parents in India already share their children images online, in which there is no consent of the particular child or kid involved. And only 17% are aware about the privacy policy, or they have any consent that is associated with the children itself. So this brings us to the question that obviously when we do not have the main party understood, they do not have the clarity, what is the safeguard available to not just parents but to children? There are legal safeguards which are available, but the question is where they are working or they are not working. For example, Information Technology Act of 2000, there is proper punishment for obscene or harmful digital content, there is identification of fraud or impersonation, there is Juvenile Justice Act, there is POCSO Act, there are intermediary guidelines which were brought in 2021. That means as per these guidelines, social media companies had to remove harmful content, especially which were targeting children. And we also have NCPCR and NCW which have proper cyber cells. So when we are talking about such a National Commission for Protection of Child Rights or National Commission for Women, the question here is at what level they can intervene and how effective these guidelines and acts have been. So here also we see a regular problem, that is the implementation part. This is present on paper, but in reality the replication or the effect is not seen. That it might seem that India has laws, but the problem is social media moderation as well as digital literacy, digital awareness, empathy, that is all that is lacking and it is weak, because of which we see the scenarios that exist in front of us. It also brings me to highlight that laws are not going to modulate or manage the values and compassion. That is something that needs moral self-regulation. You have to think before you post, and you also have to think before you comment, before you troll somebody or you become part of a humor which is going to cost somebody. We have the freedom of expression, but we also have to look into its coexistence with the duty of restraint as per Article 51A. Now let us understand what exactly all this is doing or what kind of impact it has. When we are talking about psychological as well as societal impact, we have to understand such online shaming, cyberbullying is going to have mental health impacts such as anxiety, low self-esteem, trauma, especially when we are talking about minors. It creates a culture where you have to be constantly at your toes, you have to understand, and you are in the eyes of judgment. And this is a culture which is normalizing cruelty, and civic empathy is going for a downride. So gradually our society is at the risk of becoming morally desensitized. That means we will not have sensitivity, we will lack empathy, we will lack compassion, and we don't want our society to become like this. And when we are talking about morality, it is an important part of all the walks of life, be it institution, be it administration. It is an important factor that needs to be considered. For example, if you look at the data, 41% of Indian teens are in stress, especially due to social media judgment. 1 in 3 children, they report exposure to hateful and even threatening online messages. So you can understand the kind of exposure that they are at, the vulnerability they are at, and the results that will have an effect and how they will grow as adults. So this will have a cyclical effect, a pitfall effect, domino effect, which will gradually hit at large. And all this is showing that how this digital society is becoming is overall the cultural mirroring of this digital society. It shows that our cultural consciousness is gradually going down. Therefore, the need of time is to be more compassionate. When we are talking about digital society, we also need to discuss digital ethics, we need to discuss digital morality, and we need to look towards a kinder online space. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section. That was all from my side. Thank you so much.